Hi, and welcome back to my orchid life. Thank you so much for coming over for a visit. If this is your first time here, welcome. I do grow in my living room in Denver, Colorado. I do have this one shelf right here that I do have the Barina supplemental lighting on, as well as a couple of other lights around the living room to help with extra light. But today what I want to talk about is the schilleriana. So I was watching Nina's video that she recently did on an update of her schilleriana and how she thought she had figured out why hers was losing leaves as new growth was coming in, whether it was a new leaf or whether it was new roots or just new growth in general. Unfortunately, however, she's still experiencing the same problem. So I got to thinking, let me look at my two schilleriana and see what's going on. And I noticed some things, so just going to move you down a little bit and we are going to talk about them. So this one here is in a pot and they both came to me in July. I got them from Yoshi at Plants and Other Things. They were mounted and ended up being two schilleriana instead of the one. So it came with this leaf right here that had begun its growth. It was kind of small. So she has kind of, grown this leaf almost as long as the other two. So I'm very happy with that. And I was watering her at about 160, 150 parts per million every watering. And then on the third watering, I would just do a flush. She is in an orchid top pot with large bark, perlite, and a little bit of charcoal. And the reason I was watering her at a lower fertilizer or ppm is because she really wasn't doing anything but growing this leaf. There were no new roots or anything growing. And then she started this new root right here that you can kind of see going into the pot. I don't know if you can see that or not, but she's got this new root growing into the pot. And at the same time as that root started growing, well, maybe about a week after I noticed the root, I noticed that this leaf started looking dehydrated, but the other two leaves were fine. And as this root gets longer, this is getting more and more curled up and she is, I'm assuming, absorbing it. So Nina, I think you might be onto something, because as soon as I saw that root start growing, I did up the fertilizer to about 250, 260 parts per million. And then every other watering, I would add CalMag to increase the calcium to help support this new root growth. However, she is still absorbing this leaf here, and that is the only new growth that she has. The saddest one is this one here that I am hoping to recover and get healthy so I can send it to Bobby at Cloud Forest Vibes, Orchids and More. So she had two leaves when I took her off the mount. She has grown no new roots since I put her on this mount. She lost the one leaf. It just got a little black at the top and then it just fell off. But there was, the piece of it is still in there. And as you can see, she has a new leaf right here growing in. But as that new leaf is getting larger, this leaf right here is getting absorbed. So I water this mount every day. And so every other day she does get 100 parts per million of fertilizer just to help sustain what roots are in there. There are quite a few roots, or were quite a few roots in underneath this moss when I mounted her. I'll post the video when I separated these two and potted this one and remounted this one. But I'm wondering, is this something that schillerianas do? Is there something we're doing wrong? Because Nina's having kind of the same issues. Of course, her schilleriana looks much better than mine. This one here, I believe, is still a young one. After watching that, like I said, I got to looking at these two and I'm watching this one, and I'm just hoping that this leaf, when it does drop off, it kind of breaks in an even spot instead of up here, because I don't want this leaf here to be compromised and not be able to be stabilized before it gets longer. They both are under a grow light. So this schilleriana lives on the shelf we saw at the beginning of the video. And then this schilleriana hangs on the wall right next to that shelf that has a grow light that is, let's see, about that far from her. So they're getting ample light. I'm fertilizing them. I'm not fertilizing them very high simply because they don't have a lot going on. Any suggestions on what I can do to, one, save this one, because I really, really do want to send this to Bobby, a healthy plant. to Bobby in the spring, and I'm hoping to recover her over the winter. And I know this is going to be a difficult thing to do, seeing as it's not really their growing season. But as I do grow in my home, I can control the environment a little bit better than if I were growing in a greenhouse or outside, where the greenhouse is controlled by the weather outside and I'm having to put a lot of heat or whatnot in there. I'm really upset about this one. I'm not even gonna lie. If I lost this one, I'd be okay. But this one here, I'm more upset about if I lose, just because I do want to send it to Bobby, who I do consider a friend. He's helped me quite a bit in a lot of my orchids, whether it was directly through messaging or just watching his videos. So I really, really want to save this one on the mount. So should I leave it on the mount, or do you feel like I should put it in a pot with some moss to help encourage more root growth? Any suggestions, guys, would be greatly appreciated. Go ahead and leave that in the comments down below. And Nina, if you're watching this, do you have any suggestions on things that you've kind of changed with your schilleriana that you think I can try with mine? Like I said, this one right here is the one I really, really would love to save, more so than this one. I mean, I would like to save both of them, but especially this one. And this leaf is rapidly getting absorbed. When I watched Nina's video a couple of days ago, it was just beginning at the tip, and as you can see now, she's got very little green left on her, just right up in here. And this leaf is growing, and it's growing well, but again, I don't see any new root growth. The only root that I can actually monitor is this one on the outside, so not really sure what's going on underneath. But I don't want to disturb her, but if I need to disturb her to save her, I will. So again, if you can just leave in the comments down below any suggestions that I can do to save this beauty, well, what was once a beauty. Like I said, I'll post the video so you guys can kind of see what they look like prior to the slow decline of this one. And this one I think will probably be okay, because she is growing the root. I mean, she's losing one leaf, but she does have these two that she can photosynthesize and feed herself with. And I might up the CalMag, maybe do 2 CalMag, then fertilizer, then flush, just to kind of see what happens with her. All right, well guys, I do appreciate you coming by. Go ahead and give this video a thumbs up, share it with your friends if you think they'll get anything out of it, and subscribe. It doesn't cost you anything, it just helps my channel. I appreciate you. Thank you. Have a great, great day, and remember to stay safe.